Hello friends, welcome to another Pick Us Something reading with me, Intuitive Rene. Always good to be with you, always good to inspire, motivate, and just assist you to work through whatever it is that is bothering you right now. So today's pick a card is Pick a Crystal. I grabbed three of my most favorite rough crystals. I didn't want the polished, neat and tidy, clean crystals. I wanted the rough ones because I feel like we need to get down to the bare necessities of life. We need to get down to the raw issues at hand, and I thought raw crystals will do that for us. So the crystals that I have is pink tourmaline, which has got some beautiful other quartzes and stuff in it, but it is my pink tourmaline, beautiful, beautiful crystal. The next one that I have is my raw piece of labradorite. And I know it doesn't look like anything, but in the right light, I don't know if we're going to get it on camera, but in the right light, you see the most beautiful greeny blues that come through, especially on these flat pieces. But this is a piece of raw labradorite. Labradorite is my favorite crystal. And this raw piece, I love raw crystals. I much prefer a raw crystal to a polished crystal any day. And then I have got a raw piece of amethyst spirit quartz, which is also beautiful. It looks all shabby and dirty and magnificently wonderful. So those are the three crystals that I have for you to choose from today. So you can choose reading 1, 2, or 3 based on those three. And these are the decks that I'm going to work with. So I've chosen decks. So these are created by the same person, Kim Krantz. There's her name and there's her name down there. She created these two decks. They work really well together, but let me tell you, her decks, you don't use her decks when you want just a light-hearted casual reading. You use her decks when you want to get to the truth, when you want to get like beneath the surface of everything that's worrying you in life. So that's why I thought we would use the Wild Unknown Tarot and the Wild Unknown Archetypes deck. So today's reading, there will be 3 readings. Okay, so you can pick which of the 3 readings you're drawn to, and hopefully it'll be relevant, and hopefully it'll make sense, and hopefully it'll help you on your journey. But today's topic, what I want to look at is specifically what's occupying space in your mind. So not necessarily what you're thinking about, but just what's going on in your head that is possibly causing you a little bit of hardship, a little bit of stress, a little bit of anxiety, a little bit of complications in your life. So we're going to look at what's causing you stress. We're going to look at what's causing you to have these thoughts and these kind of stress stress things in your mind. And then we're going to look at like what you need to do about it. And the archetypes deck, I'm sure, is going to add a very interesting kind of twist on that whole scenario. So that's really what I'm looking at doing for us today. And I'm going to record 3 identical readings, identical in the way that I'm using the same decks, I'm using the same structure, I'm using the same format, but obviously the readings themselves will be I'm expecting them to be vastly different. So if you're drawn to pink tourmaline, then know that that's the reading for you today. If you're drawn to my raw piece of labradorite, then that's where you're going to go. And we have the amethyst spirit quartz as well. So you can go to whichever of those 3, 2 of the 3, all 3, however you are drawn today. And the way that these picker cards work is there is timestamps just here in the description below. So if you, for example, have chosen the labradorite, you can skip the pink tourmaline and go straight across to the labradorite. So you don't have to waste your time watching something that isn't specific to you, and you can go straight to the one that you want to watch as well. So all the timestamps were there, but obviously feel free to watch them all if that's how you are inclined, or if that's how you are feeling drawn to. As I said, we're going to have the same questions or the same structure, the same cards, but obviously the readings are going to be very different. I think that's the only explanation I need to give you. I don't think there's anything else I need to say, except let's get straight into it. See you at your bundle. Welcome to those of you who chose the pink tourmaline as the reading that is hopefully going to be relevant and appropriate to you. So I'm just going to shuffle the tarot for a bit while I discuss the reading with you. So we're looking at what's going on in your mind, what's going on in your head, what is occupying space in your head, in your mind right now that maybe you're not even aware of, or maybe it is something that you're aware of and something that you have been trying to resolve for the longest time. So I am shuffling the Wild Unknown Tarot. It is a little bit of a peculiar deck, a fabulously peculiar deck. And yeah, it gives very, very deep and very real reading. So let's see what comes through. Okay, I'm happy with that shuffle. I'm going to lay out all the cards before I start talking, just so that it just makes everything run smoother. So I'm going to lay all of the cards on the table. It is mostly a black and white deck. There are little spots of color that does come through, as you can see there at the end. And I want to just draw from the Oracle as well. The Oracle, listen to me, the Archetypes deck. So this deck is a completely round deck, which makes for very interesting shuffling. But I have shuffled before I started recording, but I do like to just do a shuffle while I have you all on camera with me. Let's just do one more, and then we will draw a single card from the Archetypes deck to contribute to the reading that we have for all of you who chose pink tourmaline. Okay, I'm messing up the cards underneath, and I'm taking that card. Right, let's have a look. Oh, this is stunning. Beautiful, beautiful. All right, friends, so before we get started with anything, let's talk about the elephant in the room. I know that's not an elephant, but you may have noticed it is the Death card. So the Death card is not in any way telling you or insinuating or leading on to anybody dying or anything like that at all. I will explain it in more detail when we start with the reading, but I just wanted to clear your mind right now that nobody's dying at this stage. You know, death is something that happens to all of us. It is the only thing in life that is absolutely guaranteed. Nothing else is guaranteed. But in tarot, when we see the Death card, that's not its story. That's not the message that it's giving. And especially in this particular reading for each one of you, that's again certainly not the message that's coming through. Right, so let's get into your reading. We've got the Death card. That's the first card that we have. Then we have the Seven of Wands. We have the Fool card, which is all about new beginnings. We've got the Mother of Cups. And our Archetypes card that we have over here is the Gem. So I want to talk about the Gem first of all. I'm going to go there for you because remember, we're looking at what's on your mind, what's going on in your head, what is taking up space in your heart and soul that may be confusing you or causing you a little bit of stress at the moment. And the Gem is basically telling you that you are a diamond in the rough. So here we have this gem in this kind of messy space. And sometimes when you're surrounded by a lot of mess, a lot of chaos, a lot of complications in your life, it's natural to feel like that's who you are. It's natural to adopt that same stance or to adopt that same attitude and think that if you are in a messy space, then you must be part of the mess, or you may be the mess itself. And the fact that we've got the Death card coming through here as to what is concerning you right now, the Death card is telling you that you are at the point in your life now where you're realizing that it's time for you to let go of old aspects of yourself and to shift over to new, but you're afraid, you're scared, you're nervous, you're apprehensive because you don't know what it looks like. And that's exactly why you've got the Gem as the Archetype card, because the Gem is telling you that you've got to believe in yourself. You've got to trust that who you are, what you are is sufficient, is enough. And you've also got to trust that even though you've been under immense pressure for such a long time, buried deep down in the earth, the person or the individual or the situation that emerges at the end of it is going to be absolutely, truly wonderful and fantastic. But you needed that pressure, you needed that stress, you needed that kind of compacting experience in order for you to birth yourself as somebody brand new. And that's what this Death card is basically saying to you. You know that change has to happen in your life. Right now, as you're listening to me, you know that there are certain things, certain aspects of yourself, of your life, that need to change. You know that, but you're afraid to take those first steps. You're afraid to to move in that direction because you don't want to let anybody down. You don't want to fail. You don't want to have more tragedy in your life. So it's almost like we know we need to make some changes, but we're too afraid to do it. Instead of trusting and believing that we are perfect as we are, and isn't it so interesting that I chose all these rough crystals as to help you choose your reading this week? And when we look at a rough crystal, for some people don't like a rough crystal. Some people find a rough crystal to be, ugly. But to me, I love my rough crystals. I much prefer them over normal, ordinary crystals. So let's have a look at this particular one. So on the back end of it, and I'm calling it the back end of it because from this point, we can't actually see the beautiful crystal that's inside. So if you imagine this lying on the ground, you're going to just see it as a white stone, and you may just quite easily walk past it and not actually realize what it is. But as soon as we turn it over, we get to see how we have this beautiful pink tourmaline that has been completely encased in this quartz crystal. You can see there, isn't it just absolutely gorgeous? And this is who you are right now. Okay, so you're feeling the pressure, you're feeling the kind of, the stress of creation, of life, of what you are, who you are, what you need to be, and who you want to be. But you're so afraid to break away from your quartz crystal because you're so afraid then that your structure is gone and that maybe you're not as special or as wonderful as you think or thought you are. But the truth of the matter is you're amazing, you're fabulous, you're beautiful and perfect, exactly as you are. Change has to happen. We have to let go of the old to make space for the new so that you can start moving forward. And you know this. The only thing that you're lacking is the courage and the confidence to take that first step. So why is this causing you so much stress? And it's because you're so afraid of what other people are going to think. That's what we've got going on here. You're trying to shine your light as brightly as you can. You're trying to be this perfect individual, this perfect character, this perfect person, but you're so concerned around what society has to say. You're so concerned around other people's judgments and other people's expectations and other people's thoughts around you and who and what you are. But the truth of the matter is we need to let go of that. People are going to say what people are going to say. People are going to think what people are going to think. There's nothing that we can do to change that. But it doesn't change who you are at the core of your being. And who you are at the core of your being is a beautiful, beautiful gem. So what do you need to be mindful of? And I just adored when I turned this over and saw it was the Fool card. I thought, you know what, this is just so beautiful. Because the Fool card is about having the courage and the confidence to step beyond into a new reality, regardless of where it might take you or what might come up. The Fool card is the card that says that you have this innate confidence within you to trust that everything's going to be okay and to just explore, just like this little fledgling bird that we have over here, about to take their first flight. They don't know if they can fly or not. That little bird is probably absolutely petrified. Like, I don't know, what happens if I can't fly? Well, if I can't fly, I'm going to hit the ground, I'm going to die. But what happens if I can fly? What happens if I get it right? And the bird also realizes that it's a rite of passage. And maybe that's what you're going through at the moment. It's this whole rite of passage of, that you need to advance, you need to progress, you need to move forward in your life, and you want to. But your fear, and it's not your own personal fear about your own abilities, it's your fear about judgment. It's your fear about what other people have to say. It's your fear about what other people are telling you. Because people are telling you, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it. And you're listening. And you shouldn't. And you shouldn't. When we have the Mother of Cups here, the Mother of Cups is telling you to recognize and to understand that you are supported. I love how she's looking at the little bird over here. I love how it looks like she's got her wing out, almost like she's reaching out to the little bird saying, come little birdie, I will protect you. I will catch you if you fall. I will make sure that you are safe as you need to, whenever you need to be safe. But the truth of the matter is, the Mother of Cups is also saying to you that if you don't make that change, if you don't step beyond your current realm of reality, if you don't let go of the security and the safety of your nest, and if you don't forget about all the negativity that's around you and take that leap of faith, you will end up dying. You will end up losing everything that matters to you. But if you have the courage and the confidence to take that step and to initiate and to move forward, you are going to emerge out of this as a beautiful, beautiful gem. So I want to just look at this artwork for another brief second, because everything that I'm seeing around this gem to me looks like a bird's nest. Bird's nest are made up of all sorts of things, sort of intertwined and interwoven into each other. and then sits perfectly in the center, the brightest, the most clear, the most beautiful crystal gem ever. So this gem represents you. This is the nest that you feel is keeping you safe, but actually what it's doing is it's holding you back. You need to let go. You need to take that leap of faith. You need to trust not in anybody else around you, maybe into trust the Mother of Cups, because the Mother of Cups does have your back. Your Mother of Cups is not going to stop you, not going to do it for you, but they will watch and they will support you. So consider this to be your biggest cheerleader, okay? And they will support you and they will help you, but you need to do the work yourself. Nobody else is going to do it for you. So find somebody who can be your cheerleader as you go about the change that needs to take place in your life. And friends, when I talk about a change, I'm not talking about a small little simple something. I'm talking about something major. All right, this is a big thing in your life. This is not a small step. This is something quite major, quite big, and quite substantial. So it's either going to be to do with work, it's going to be to do with relationships, it's going to be to do with finances, it's going to be to do with your health even, okay? But there is definitely something brewing at the moment, and you know it. It's here in your head, it's here in your mind. You are very much aware of it. It's not like you're going to be like, oh, I wonder what she could be talking about. You will know exactly what this is. Listen to that little voice in your head. Listen to that little voice in your heart. Listen to that little voice in your soul that is telling you exactly what this change is. And friends, in all honesty, you chose pink tourmaline. Tourmaline is a crystal of cleanse. It's a crystal of protection. It's a crystal of removing negative energies. And that's exactly what this reading is all about. This reading is telling you today that you are ready to take that leap of faith. You are ready to step off the ledge, the proverbial ledge, and you are ready to fly. But you have to take that first step. The problem is that you are so concerned around everybody else around you. And you're probably going to your friends and your family and the people who are important to you, and you're asking their advice and guidance. And they're telling you all their war stories. They're telling you all the things that happened to everybody else that went wrong. And you're thinking, well, okay, now if I do it, I'm going to have that same. You are surrounding yourself with all the negativity. You are surrounding yourself with all these other opinions and all these other judgments. And the truth of the matter is it's time to let all that go. And it's time to realize that you're pretty awesome on your own and that you don't need anybody else. The only person you need is yourself and a cheerleader. So find somebody who has your back, somebody who supports you, somebody who won't stop you but will be there to catch you should you fall, but somebody who's going to allow you to get a bump or a bruise, to make a mistake, because that's how we learn. But friends, embrace the change that is needed in your life at the moment. And as I said to you, it is quite a big one. All right, this is not just a simple thing of, should I change my style of handbag? That's not what we're referring to. We are referring to something big, something major, something significant, and something truly fabulous. So you know what that is. I hope this gives you the push. I am your cheerleader and I'm supporting you. Be the shining star that you are. Allow yourself to flourish. Allow yourself to be happy. Allow yourself to live a life that is truly worth living. Make the change. Let everybody else go. Let them, don't worry about them, okay? Because they're not offering you anything. So let them go. They're not important enough in your life right now. You need to believe in yourself. You need to trust yourself. And you have the support that you need in order to do so. No harm is going to come to you. Trust. You are ready to shine. You are ready to glow. You are ready to be perfect. Friends, I hope that makes sense to you, and I hope that helps you to take that step. As always, with love and blessings from my heart to yours. And until we connect again, take care. Hello and welcome to those of you who chose the raw Labradorite as the reading that is hopefully going to be relevant and appropriate to you today. Welcome. I have the tarot deck in my hand. I'm going to shuffle it while we sort of discuss what we're getting ourselves into and what this reading is all about. And once I have got all the cards laid out on the table, I'll then start with the reading. So friends, today's reading is all about what's going on in your mind. What is occupying space in your mind? What is the thing that is forefront in your mind at the moment that needs a little bit of clarity and a little bit of understanding? So what is causing you stress? What is causing you a little bit of anxiety? What is causing you a little bit of uncertainty in your life at the moment. I think I'm happy with that shuffle. Let's see. I'm going to lay out 4 cards from this deck, and then I'm going to lay out a single card from the Archetypes deck. So let's lay out your cards, and I'm just going to leave some space. Hopefully it all fits. These cards are mostly black and white with little pops of color. They're absolutely stunning, but they're not your standard pretty traditional. I mean, I think they're gorgeous. I think they are very pretty, but you know, they're not your standard storytelling type of tarot that we are used to. Here is the Oracle deck, and it is an Archetypes deck, and it is a round one, which of course makes for very interesting shuffling, especially for somebody like me who is challenged as it is under normal circumstances to shuffle a deck. Round certainly does make it a little bit more challenging as well. But these decks are just amazing. Just going to give one more shuffle, and then we will pick an Archetypes and get started with your reading. There we go. Okay, and I'm going to cut over there. And there we have our card. The Underworld. Right, let's make some space so that we can fit them all on. So the Underworld is going to live there, and then we have our 4 others over here. All right, so I think that looks clean, neat, and tidy. Everybody has a space. Right, so the first thing that we need to talk about is the Underworld card. So I'm going to start with the Archetypes deck first. So what is the Underworld? Where is the Underworld? Okay, so the Underworld is the deepest, darkest places of our soul, where our fears, our stresses, and our anxieties are sitting. So friends, it's quite interesting because those of you who chose the raw piece of labradorite as the reading for you, you've chosen that piece, which is quite dark. It's certainly not pretty, okay? I mean, I think it's gorgeous, but it's certainly not the prettiest of raw crystals. There you can start seeing some of the color. It doesn't really come through on camera, but it's got the most beautiful greeny blue hue lying inside of it. But just generally on the surface, it's actually quite an ugly, it's just a piece of rock. And you chose this particular one because maybe that's how you're feeling. You're feeling like your whole world is a little bit of underworld. You're feeling as if everything's just generally dark and gloomy. You're not feeling overly optimistic about life in general, especially whatever it is that's on your mind right now. So you're feeling like, you know what, everything is bad. Your outlook on life is bad, negative. You've had a lot of challenges. You've had a lot of problems, and you just feel as if everything is bad. Okay, there's not a lot of happiness, there's not a lot of joy. And it's very interesting that the first tarot card that we drew for you is the card of Temperance, because Temperance is the card of balance, it's the card of duality. Temperance is the card that says we need to focus on the light and the dark, we need to focus on the truth, we need to focus on all aspects of circumstance and situation. So what concerns you the most right now, what is the thing that's going through your mind right now, is everything. Okay, so you're sort of contemplating life in general, your situation, your circumstance in general, and you're sort of saying, well, you know, I really wish I could find common ground. I really wish I could find some kind of balance. I really wish I could find, you know, just a way to cope, a way to be okay. You're not expecting or asking or looking for the impossible. You're being quite reasonable and realistic. But there is this definitely this negative undertone, which is creating and causing you to have negative experiences. So, and it's almost like the one just sort of builds on the other, builds on the other, builds on the other, until we end up with an overwhelming amount of chaos in our life. And that seems to be where you are at the moment, and what it is that you are dealing with at the moment. And I understand that, you know, life is not easy at the moment. We've got so many conditions and pressures and expectations, and do this and don't do that and do more of this, and you know, how much of this do you have and how much of that do you have, and it all becomes just all a little bit too much, that we actually forget that underneath all of this external pressure, we're just a little person wanting a little bit of happiness, a little bit of joy. The underworld is quite an important message for each of you here, because it's telling you that you're at a point in your life now where you actually cannot avoid dealing with the things that you've been putting off for quite some time. Again, which is why we've got Temperance, because Temperance is telling you, don't rip that band-aid off, straight off. Temperance is telling you, let's do bit by bit, let's do a little bit by little bit, but let's do it, okay? So, and if you've ever had a plaster on yourself, when it comes to taking the plaster off, ripping it off all at once hurts a lot. But then the pain does get over quite quickly. Whereas if you do it slowly, 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 it's almost a little bit more manageable, or so we think. And temperance is basically saying to you, you have to deal with what you have to deal with. There is no avoiding it. We understand that you're afraid. We understand that you're scared. We understand that you're going through a lot, and it's all just a little bit too much. But the truth of the matter is you have to. So why is this causing you so much stress? Why are you so afraid of dealing with the stuff that you need to deal with in your life right now? And the card that we have over here is the Three of Pentacles. And the Three of Pentacles, I'm just looking at it, wondering if it's upside down. I'm not actually sure. It was indeed upside down. And I don't read upside down. So why is the Three of Pentacles come upside down? Maybe we need to ponder that for a second. So let's do that, okay? We're gonna do some underworld analysis here. I call it the underworld analysis because it's not my normal. It's not my go-to. So Three of Pentacles in normal context, okay, above ground context. Above ground context, the Three of Pentacles is about collaboration. It's about teamwork. It's about coming together with the people who can assist you in achieving your goals that you want, that you need, and that you're striving towards. But it's about recognizing that we need to come together as like-minded people that are working towards a common goal of overcoming this crazy, monstrous mountain that lays in front of us. So Temperance is telling you, choose wisely. Choose the people that you're going to take on this journey with you wisely. Be very cautious, be very mindful of who you're taking with. And we want to make sure that the people that we're taking have the same interests as we do. And that you're not choosing people who are going to keep you in the underworld. That you're not choosing people who are constantly negative throughout the whole process, who are constantly saying, oh, but we're not going to make it, and we're not good enough, and we're not strong enough, and we don't have enough, and we this and we that, and we. So, and I think that's what came up in the upside down, because it's telling you that the people that you're surrounding yourself with at the moment are not conducive to you succeeding and achieving, overcoming the underworld. Okay, so pay attention. Pay attention to the people that you are spending time with, the people that you are connecting with and engaging with. And as soon as you hear a negative kind of thought process, immediately recognize that these are not the people that are going to bring you out of the underworld, that these are the people who are keeping you stuck, trapped, and locked in a negative world, which you don't want to be in. Temperance is reminding you it's time to move beyond and to move into better existence for yourself. So what else do you need to be mindful of? And here we have the Nine of Wands. And this is just so relevant, because I mean, and the card looks like it's all of these steps, and it's these steps up towards a new moon. What is a new moon? A new moon signifies new opportunities, a new opportunity to cycle around, a new opportunity. It's the time of growth. It's the time of opportunity. But it's telling you that you have to walk the steps, okay? That you're not there yet. So what is Temperance telling you? Don't run, don't rush. Be mindful of who you're taking along with you, but recognize that there's still a process to go. The Nine of Wands is the card of exhaustion. It's the card that says you're so tired, you're so fed up, you're so stuck in the darkness that you sometimes feel like it's not worth it. I'm not even going to try walk the stairs because I know I'm just not going to make it in time. And in all honesty, that's what Temperance is telling you, is that you've got to focus on the light. You've got to focus on the opportunity. You've got to focus on the end goals, and don't let other people and their situations and their circumstances hold you back. Okay? Because we don't want to be doing that anymore. We do not want to be held back by what other people are saying and what other people are doing. And to me, this final card over here for you, the Ace of Cups, it speaks volumes as to the steps that you need to take to climb the steps, to leave these people behind and to switch off from the negative space of the underworld and to allow yourself into this rainbow world of light, of joy, of happiness, and of success. And the Ace of Cups is the card of new people coming into your space, allowing in new energies, allowing in new people, because we identified here with our Three of Pentacles, we identified that you're currently surrounding yourself with people who have negative outlooks, who are comfortable in the underworld, who are keeping you trapped and stuck in the underworld because they don't believe that we can achieve the impossible of climbing that mountain, of overcoming the mountain. And you need to recognize that we need to leave them alone. We need to leave them behind. We need to separate ourselves from those people, and we need to let new people in. So the steps that you need to take right here and right now is to give yourself permission to step beyond your current reality, to step beyond your current people, and seek for new people, seek for new personalities in your life who are not living in the underworld, who are not living in this world of negativity, in this world of fear and doubt and insecurities, but people who are living in the light, because that's what temperance is telling you. Temperance is the card of balance, and we're not saying that you're going to neglect these people completely, but we're saying for now we don't want to be in working with them. We don't want to be connected to them. We don't want to be engaging with them because they're holding you back. You've still got a ways to go, and it's time for you to start climbing those steps. But you need support around you. You need to surround yourself with like-minded people, light workers, people who believe in happiness, people who believe in positivity, and people who are not afraid to speak positively around a situation or a circumstance, because the people that you're surrounding yourself with at the moment, they're all naysayers. they don't believe that good things can happen. They don't believe that things are going to be okay, and actually they are going to be okay. So you are a rough piece of labradorite, and I don't have in front of me a polished piece of labradorite to show you, but it is the most exquisite crystal. Labradorite, like I said, you get them in various colors. Mostly they are like a greeny blue. I do have purple. I'm just trying to see in this light. I've got too many lights at too many angles, so it's not going to let us see its beautiful coloring. But you are a raw piece of labradorite, and with a little bit of polishing, you will be you will be beautiful. You will be gorgeous. And don't let anybody tell you any different. Don't let anybody tell you that you are just a chunk of rock. You are so much more than a chunk of rock. But it's time for you to come out of the darkness. It's time for you to leave that world behind you and find balance. Find your blend of light and dark. And when you do that, you will be able to overcome and achieve the mountains. You will be able to climb the steps, but you need to allow new people to come into your space in order for this to happen. All right, friends, I know that was a tough one. I know that was an absolute tough one. You may need to listen to it once or twice before it really sets in, but I hope it does. I hope it makes sense to you, and I hope you're able to identify what aspect of your life this is relating to. And I hope this helps you and gives you the courage and the confidence that you need to make the changes that you need to make. All right. As always, with love and blessings, from my heart to yours. And until we connect again, take care. Hello and welcome to those of you who chose my Amethyst Spirit Quartz crystal as the reading that you need to hear right now. Welcome. So I have the tarot deck in my hand. Let's give it a shuffle and lay out all the cards that we need before we actually start with the reading. So we're going to do from the tarot, and then we will do from the archetypes deck. And once they're all laid out, we will start with the reading. So friends, today's reading is a little bit different, a little bit weird, a little bit strange. I'm saying that because our bundles 1 and 2, readings 1 and 2, which I have just recorded, and they were deep. Let me tell you, they were deep. So I'm going to warn all of you who chose this particular reading to buckle your seatbelts. Buckle your seatbelts. Let's see what comes through for you from from the unknown tarot, or the wild unknown tarot. So we're looking at what's going on in your head. Okay, what are the thoughts that are happening in your head? What are the things that you're pondering and questioning and thinking about in life right now? And what's the best way to tackle it? And why and how and who and what for and how come? Those are all the questions that we have. So I'm going to lay out the tarot first, leaving a little bit of space for the archetypes deck. Oh, do I fit in? Do I fit in? I just fit in. Okay. So I'm going to talk about these cards in a bit, and I see we have an upside down one, so I'm just fixing it. It's interesting, this deck seems to create upside down cards all on its own, even when I don't want upside down cards. Here is the Archetypes deck. I am just going to give it a brief shuffle. As you can see, it is a perfectly round deck, which makes shuffling a little bit of a challenge on a good day. And I am a bad shuffler on the best of days, so let's just see how this goes. Just going to do another one shuffle. I can get my fingers around it. I love round decks, but they are quite a challenge to shuffle. Here we go. That wasn't too bad. Right, let's cut the deck. And we're drawing a card off the top. So we have got the Mentor. Beautiful. We've got some flames. We've got a beautiful owl coming through. Right, so the Mentor is going to sit there and we can tidy up our tarot. So friends, let me just, first of all, before we start with anything, let's just address the elephant in the room. You may have noticed the dreaded death card that has come through here. And I just want to put your mind at ease right off the bat and say, please don't stress about the death card. The death card is absolutely nothing to fear, nothing to worry about, especially in this particular location or in the reading and in the spread. This particular, the question that we're asking here with the death card is like really absolutely nothing for worry about at all. The death card here is actually an incredibly positive card for each one of you in the reading. So for those of you who are interested about the cards that we do have, we have got card number 9, which is a 9 of Pentacles, which is beautiful. There we have the 9 Pentacles encased in these beautiful feathers. We also have the Mother of Pentacles. So you've got 2 Pentacles. We've got the Death card, and then we have got the 3 of Cups. We have card number 6 here from the Archetypes deck, which is talking about Mentor, the Mentor. And my understanding of the Mentor is somebody who inspires, somebody who motivates, somebody who teaches, and somebody who guides, okay? So what we don't know yet, if this is you or if this is what you need in your life right now. So when I look at the 4 cards that, the 4 tarot that I've got here, so we're starting off with the very first card that we have. What concerns you the most right now? What is like the main kind of thought process that's going on in your mind? What is the main thing that you're thinking about? What is the main thing that's occupying space in your head, whether you're consciously aware of it or not? And what we have here is the 9 of Pentacles. Now, 9 of Pentacles to me is the card of having everything your heart desires and then some. 9 of Pentacles is your wishes come true card. The 9 of Pentacles is the card that says to you that you have abundance in your life at the moment. And now when I look at the Mentor in relation to the 9 of Pentacles, I think the message that's coming through here is to recognize and to acknowledge and to understand in what aspects or areas of your life you have extra, and then to use that to inspire, to motivate, and to assist others. So to me, it's like you need to be the mentor while you are being mentored. So it's actually, I'm getting it as a two-way street, because you do have. So when I talk about this excess in your life, it may not be finances. It very well may be finances. But I just want to make that clear for each of you watching right now. You may have an abundance of time on your hands. You may have an abundance of money. You may have an abundance of fabric. You may have an abundance of, I don't know, anything. And it's about using whatever it is that you have an abundance of in your life, using it to inspire, not just to give to somebody else, okay? Because that's not what we get. Mentors don't just give. Mentors teach. They inspire, they open the door, explain to you what will happen when you step through the door, and then they step back and wait for you to walk through the door voluntarily. That is what a mentor's job is. That's what a mentor does. And you need to use whatever this is that you have access, because people are looking at you thinking, gosh, how did you get to that point? How did you get to that point of having all this extra, all this excess? And you've probably been thinking about it as well. Like, how can you use the experience that you have, the journey that you have experienced so far, all that you have excess of, how can you use that to help and to inspire and to motivate others in your life? So why is this causing you stress? I mean, like, why is this occupying so much? Why is it so difficult for you to figure out what to do, how to be the mentor? And it's because you're not the kind of person who's overly pushy. You're not the kind of person who wants to go up to somebody else and say, hey, Let's do this. Stop what you're doing and let me help you and let's do this. You're not that kind of person. You're not the kind of person who wants to push other people around and say, my way or no way. That's not who you are, okay? You're the kind of person who waits for people to say, hey, can you help me? And then you jump into action. But the truth of the matter is, this is you needing to initiate. This is you needing to take control, to grab the proverbial bull by the horns and jump into a situation that maybe is a little bit outside of your comfort zone. So it's causing you stress because it's not your norm. It's not the kind of, it's not the person you usually are. You're usually somebody who is a lot more controlled and a lot more behind the scenes, if I can put it that way. But actually, you need to be more in the front. You need to be offering more support and more guidance. But because it does take you out of your comfort zone a little bit, that's why you're so torn around the situation and why it's occupying so much space in your mind. And just before we even carry on with the rest of the cards, I want to bring this particular crystal back into the picture because you chose this amethyst spirit quartz. Now, what makes a crystal a spirit quartz? So we've got these points. They themselves are not the spirit quartz. The spirit quartz are all these other tiny little points that sort of gather around the base of another crystal. So if you have a crystal, I'm just trying to get a good viewpoint where you can see it. If you have a standard crystal that has all these little points on it, that's what makes it a spirit quartz, okay? And you can see this one's got a bit of a purple tip, which is why I'm calling it an amethyst spirit quartz. And what is a spirit quartz is supporting. The spirit quartz is using the larger quartz as its structural base to give it structure, to give it shape, to give it form, to keep it strong, to give it the support that it needs. So isn't that so interesting that you chose that particular crystal? And that's exactly the message, is you need to understand that sometimes when we offer support and guidance to others, that is actually our purpose in life. So the spirit quartz have all attached to the bigger quartz to offer strength and support to the bigger quartz, but also so that they are protected. So it is a two-way street. And that's what I was saying to you over here. But you're very much worried or, afraid to do this because it is climbing out of your comfort zone, because you're so used to doing things your way. And to climb out of your comfort zone can be and is a little bit daunting. So what do you need to be mindful of? And this is where this beautiful death card comes into play. So just to explain death, and I'm not talking about human death, okay? Just to explain death as a concept. Death as a concept means letting go of one state or one form of being in order to allow another. So it's about the shifting and changing from one state to another state. And I'm going to use the example, seeing as we have a bird depicted here in this particular death card, I'm going to use the example of an egg. When we have an egg, there is potential life inside that egg. There is, potential embryo, etc., etc., etc. And if it's nurtured and taken care of, and while it's in that egg, it is literally just an egg. We don't refer to anything different. It is just the egg. But once the little whatever it is that's inside the egg is ready, and it starts chipping through and it starts breaking the egg, suddenly it is no longer egg. Its egg life has ceased to exist, and it is now a bird or a snake or whatever it is that's come out of the egg. But in order to grow, in order to progress, in order to evolve, it's had to let go of its previous condition or its previous state. And what you need to be mindful of here is that this mentorship that you need to employ, that you need to offer, that you need to do is part of your evolution. It's like it's the next logical step in your journey of life. Whatever your human existence is, whatever it is that you're doing on this earth planet at the moment, it's like it's not enough. No pressure, but it's not enough. And it's like you need to step up to the plate. You need to step up to the next level. And the way to step up to the next level is to offer some form of teaching, of mentorship, of leadership, of guidance. Okay. And yes, I know we're afraid, we're nervous, we're not feeling like we're ready for it, but it is absolutely who you need to be. But you've got to let go of your old aspect of yourself in order to welcome and allow mentorship to take place in your life. And the steps that you need to take is to just surround yourself with people who who are happy to see you. I don't know how else to put it. Three of Cups is the card of celebration. It's the card of joy. It's the card of optimism. It's the card of coming together with people who are important and significant in your life. And it's the card of just celebrating now, celebrating life. So when you open yourself up to being a mentor, when you open yourself up to being somebody who is offering guidance, when you open yourself up to being that person, the persons will come. Okay, you will find yourself inundated and completely surrounded by all these people who are saying, yes, please, yes, please, yes, please, show me, teach me, help me. Okay, so I am going to say to you that all of you who chose the amethyst spirit quartz crystal, you are light workers. You are people who make a difference in this world. You are people whose life purpose is to help others, to make others' journey simpler, easier, and better. And the way that you need to do that is by sharing whatever it is that you have in excess. Okay, and when I say sharing what you have in excess, again, I'm not talking about just giving it away. That's absolutely not. How did you get an excess of it? That recipe, that instruction is what it is that you need to share. So you need to share with everybody, how did you get to where you are? What were the steps that you took? And you need to hold their hand and guide them through a similar process, but understanding that everybody's journey is personal. Everybody's journey is going to be different to yours, but you can use your basic foundational recipe to assist and to guide them into doing it. And it is going to take you out of your comfort zone. There's no doubt about it. But I'm not afraid of that for you. And I hope you're not afraid of that for you, because it's necessary, it's needed. And in order for you to go to the next evolutionary stage in your human existence, you need to do this. And it's going to be wonderful. This card of celebration and success tells you that it's going to be absolutely wonderful. It is going to be absolutely wonderful. So friends, it's time for you. And also, just on that point as well, just want to say that when you are a mentor to others, it's amazing how many mentors will step forward to mentor you further. So it's almost like as soon as you let go and step into your future, your next teachers step forward as well. And that's what we want. That's exactly what we want. So if you open up to this, your next teacher will step forward to take you further. So don't feel as if this is the end of your road, because it absolutely isn't. All right. So friends, I hope this made sense to you. And I hope this just tells you exactly what it is that you need to do next. What is thinking in your mind? What is going on in your mind? And what do you need to do with that information? I do hope you enjoyed your reading. As always, with love and blessings, from my heart to yours. And until we connect again, take care.